Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am building another family home, and this time I am building one here in Willow Creek. And basically my idea was to build just a very cute family home, perfect for like a small family. Whenever I do like perfect sort of builds, or I title them with the word perfect, I usually try to make them like a decent size home. This one's a bit more on the smaller side, but you could still easily fit 4 Sims in here, 2 parents and 2 children. But you could honestly probably like fit bunk beds in the kids' rooms if you wanted to have more children. So I think that's really nice. And another thing that makes me qualify them as perfect is having a lot of activities. And so I definitely think this one does. And it's just like a nice, sweet blue suburban home. And I just really like it. So hopefully you guys will like it too. And something that I did a little bit different in this build is I only made children's rooms for a baby and a toddler. Usually I'll do like maybe a toddler room, maybe a nursery, but usually it's like kids rooms and teenager rooms. And I don't think, if I have, it's been a long time, but I don't think I've done one for, a family with 2 very small children, so like a baby and like a 2 or 3 year old. So I think that's a really fun idea, and I really enjoyed decorating this home. I've been building a lot in the brand new world of Moonwood Mill, which is a lot more like of a grungier style. The world's a bit dimmer and darker, so I decided I would just come to Willow Creek, build like a very cutesy, brightly colored family home, just to do something that was like the polar opposite of what I've been doing recently. So yeah, hopefully you guys will like it, but definitely let me know what you guys think. So here you can see the shape of the house is starting to come together. I was looking at a picture on Pinterest. I will try to remember to put it up on screen. Sometimes I am so terrible about that, but hopefully I do. If I do, then you will see it up here to see what I was looking at. I was looking at just the front of the house though, and nothing for the back of the house. So as you can see here, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the back. I knew I wanted to have like a back porch area, and so I pretty much just mirror the front of it. Instead of jetting out this part to the right though, I just make the porch span a little bit farther across the back of the build, and then I make 2 dormer pieces pop out of the roof area, and I think that actually looks really nice. And it was nice to have a larger porch area, and I think it's super cute. In the backyard there are a few activities. There's some like planter boxes, there's a swing set, a barbecue area, and an outdoor dining table. There's no swimming pool. Usually when I build perfect sort of family homes, I like to include a swimming pool because that's one of the activities that you can have in the game, but it was a bit more on the smaller side, so I didn't think it was necessary to squeeze one in. But there is like a full-on arts and crafts room, which I think is so fun. And I actually forgot about the room. I knew I wanted it to be an office, but when I first was like making the floor plan, I didn't know what all I wanted to include in the office area. And I got done with the entire build, like all of the landscaping and interior and everything, and realized that room was still empty. And so I go back and make it an arts and crafts room, and I really, really enjoy it. And I'm so happy that I did, because I think it's perfect for this house. And I think it's a really nice like addition activity wise, and it's just super cute. But yeah, here you can see I'm like fencing in the backyard. I decided to use this white fence, and at the front of the lot I was thinking about fencing it in, and I couldn't find a fence that I wanted to use, mostly because I wanted to use a live edit objects fence, because you can actually place them on the very edge of a lot, and the regular fences you cannot do that. But I didn't find one that I thought looked cute. It kind of just made the house feel a bit like cramped, and I don't know, it just wasn't working for me. So I decided to leave it open, and I just added some greenery here in the front, a combination of blue, purple, and I think maybe like a pinkish sort of flower. So it's very subtle color, but I think it's enough to make it feel like bright and cheerful. And I really like that. I also added some like orangey wood tones, which I actually really like in the game too. We got lots of orangey wood tones throughout, like Parenthood and Tiny Living and Eco Lifestyle and Dream Home Decorator. Like all of those packs actually have really nice matching wood tones, and I like the like brightness the color palettes of those packs bring. So I ended up using a lot of them in this build. My main goal though was to use a lot of Parenthood, which I definitely did, because whenever I do like more cutesy family homes, I usually don't even mean to, but end up using a lot of Parenthood. But here you can see I'm working on the floor plan. I wanted to get the floor plan sorted out before finishing the exterior, and once I finished the floor plan, I got kind of carried away and didn't even continue with the landscaping. I just started decorating the house. So you'll see me finish the exterior at the very end of the build, and then at the very, very end, I decorate the crafting / office room. But yeah, here I'm figuring out where the beds are going to go and what rooms are going to be what. So there's one room for one parent or two parents. You can easily fit one or two in there. And then there's a nursery, like I mentioned, and a toddler's room. In the nursery, I'm using the new bed that came with the werewolves pack. I kind of struggled finding which swatch I wanted to use because a lot of the swatches, like the wood is very worn and there's like scratches and stuff on it, which is perfect for the werewolves pack, but for this home it wasn't perfect. But I did find a swatch that I think actually ended up working pretty nicely. And then in the toddler's room, I used the bed that came from Eco Lifestyle because it's just so cute. I really like that one. We also got a really cute one with the werewolves pack, but I felt like the Eco Lifestyle one suited the style a little bit better. And the bassinet from the werewolves one, I had to use it because I haven't used it yet in any build, and I think I made it work. But of course, if you don't have the werewolves pack or you don't think it fits, like the base game bassinet would work just fine. But yeah, here you can see I'm decorating the living area. The living area is a really big room, but I divided up the spaces to be more of like a play area and then the actual living space with the TV and the fireplace. And then in like the play area, there's this building block table, there's a dollhouse and some bookcases that came from kids' room, which I thought was pretty cute. And I separated all of the spaces with archways, which is like my favorite way to do interiors, because when you're taking screenshots, you can see into the room over, and I think it just looks the best in the game, and I don't know, I just prefer it. So yeah, I'll probably continue to do that in most of my builds. But over here, I really wasn't sure what I should place, so I decided to place a shelf with a few different decorations on it. It's pretty simply decorated. Well, this whole house I think is simply decorated, but I think it still feels like full and lived in, and I don't know, really cutesy. Oh yeah, I added this really adorable dog bed that looks like an egg frying in a pan. But I forgot to put a food bowl for a dog. So if you would like to have a dog in the build, you would probably want to place a food bowl somewhere so they can eat. Of course, if you want to, you could have a cat. There is a laundry room and downstairs like bathroom area that I think would be perfect to put a litter box or something like that. Well, a litter box for sure, but you could obviously put like a scratching post or something else like that in other parts of the build. But there I just decorated the top of the fireplace with a few different decorations that I thought looked nice. And then over here is going to be the giant dining room. I did not realize how large this room was when I was like building the house. Like I felt like the house was going to be a lot more compact on the interior to decorate and to furnish, but it was so spacious. Like it looks like a really small house. It's like one of those houses that fool you in real life where you look at it from like the street and you're like, oh, it's probably like a really tiny 1-bedroom house, and you walk in and it's like never ending with like hallways and the bedrooms and like the ceilings are high. I feel like that's how this home is. So it's like a trickster small house where it's, I don't know, a faux small house. And then you see like a Victorian home and you expect it to be like massive on the interior, but it's essentially just all porch and decorations, and the rooms on the inside are really small. So I think that's always kind of funny. But yeah, I think this dining room ended up being really cute. When I first realized how large the room was, I was kind of unsure if I was going to like it, because usually I like decorating smaller spaces more. I think they look better, but this makes it feel like it's really going to be playable if you guys are more into gameplay and not into just watching speed builds because you like speed builds. So if you're really into gameplay, I think there's going to be lots of like room for your Sims to navigate around. Although when I was just editing the video, I realized that I made the kitchen way too cramped because the island is way too big for the room, and the chairs at the island actually butt up against like one of the counters on the other side of the room. You might not notice it when I'm decorating the kitchen itself, because I didn't notice it, but maybe since I mentioned it, you will. But I didn't realize it till I was going through the screenshots at the end of the video, and I realized your Sims cannot get through there. They might not even be able to sit in the chair. So I do fix that. You won't see it in the screenshots, but you'll see it if you decide to download the build. I just made the island just like half the size that it is. Instead of like a large square, it's just more of like a smaller rectangle, which I think worked out a lot better, and it actually looks really nice. And I moved the fruit bowl that I ended up placing on top of it to the counter over on the left side of the room. So yeah, there I just placed a high chair at the dining table. Usually I try to place high chairs just somewhere like in the kitchen or off to the side in the dining room, because I don't always like the way they look snapped to the dining table themselves. but for this build, I thought it actually looked pretty cute. So there I just placed the chairs at the island, and they're way too close to like the coffee maker and everything over here. So yeah, that's only like the only change I had to make. I think the rest of it is very spacious, like I was saying, and very playable, and nothing felt overly crowded except for this space, which I thought was kind of funny. But yeah, here I'm just adding some different decorations, trying to make the kitchen feel fully decorated and lived in. I absolutely love this stove and refrigerator. I think they are so cute. They came from the Country Kitchen kit, and I feel like I'm using them all of the time when I'm doing more of these like cutesy interiors, because they really make me feel like I don't know, like you would see them in like a Pixar movie or something, and that's how I try to make these types of homes feel. And I don't know if it comes across that way, but I try to give them more of that like kind of cutesy Pixar look, because I really like that. I like the like style of Pixar movies. I think their homes always feel so cozy and adorable. And something else that I really like about this build is the blue front door. It matches like none of the other blue tones in the house, but I think it's a really nice detail. Maybe one of the parents that's into all the arts and crafts maybe saw it on like, what would the Pinterest version for The Sims be, like Simtrest? They saw it on that, and then they decided to paint their front door, and I think it's really cute, super charming. But over here is going to be the entryway. So in the entryway, there's a few different decorations, like entryway items. There's also a chair and a side table. I also ended up placing the keyboard in there, which I thought was kind of just like a nice other activity to have in the build. And then over here is going to be the laundry room and the downstairs bathroom. The downstairs bathroom ended up having quite a bit of space. So there is a shower in here, there's a sink and a toilet. I did forget a toilet paper holder, so you won't see that, but I do place one later on when I realized that I forgot it. I'm not sure if you'll see it in the actual speed build, but I know I placed it before taking the screenshots. And yeah, it's pretty simply decorated. But over here in the laundry room, I do end up placing a couple of laundry hampers, which I was pretty happy about, because I almost did not. I almost like saved them for the bedrooms. But then I remembered recently how I told you guys I was going to try, when I had space, to place them in the laundry room. So I'm really happy that I remembered, because you guys have said that that makes the builds a lot more playable, because then your Sims aren't going through the entire house collecting laundry, and it's a long process to make your Sims do that, and it takes up a lot of time. So it's a lot easier if they're close to the washer and dryer. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful. But anyways, over here I am decorating the upstairs bathroom, which is going to be the shared bathroom for the entire family. I didn't really have room to squeeze in an ensuite bathroom. I had wanted to place one, but it didn't seem worth it just to force one in. So I think this is plenty for like the size of family, especially since the downstairs bathroom does have a shower. So I think that makes it a little bit better. And then in the hallway area, I placed another one of these bookcases that we got from the kids room stuff pack, and I really like that bookcase. I ended up using it like another 1 or 2 times in this build, because I think it makes like really nice like kind of just extra clutter and decorations, because the shelves are completely full and it's really colorful, and it just feels like such realistic storage to have all of like the cabinets and then the storage bins and then the books. I really like that item. So yeah, anyways, over here is going to be the toddler's room. So for the toddler's room, I decided to go for a purple color scheme. And so basically I just tried to find all things purple, or at least with some hint of purple on them, and I think it just ends up being such a cute toddler's room. And I absolutely adore this pillow that I placed on the ground. It recently came in the latest build kit, which was called the backyard campers, I believe. Anyways, it came out very recently and has such cute decorations and such a cute style, and I thought that was perfect. I also ended up using the dollhouse that we got in that pack in this room as well. Over here, I was trying to create like an open wardrobe, but it bothered me because they disappear when the walls are in cutaway mode, and so it makes it look like that spot of the room is completely empty. So I end up placing a dresser instead, just to sort of fill in the space. It's not as cute when the walls are up, but it looks better when the walls are in cutaway, and I think most people play that way, so that's why I ended up getting rid of it. But I really like that we got like toddler or child size clothes in that pack. I think they're really adorable. But yeah, here I just placed the dollhouse that came in the backyard campers kit, and then here I'm getting rid of the wardrobe, and I placed this one instead. This one also came from the kids room stuff pack, so I used lots of items from that pack. That's another one that I think goes well with like parenthood and eco lifestyle and tiny living and those sorts of packs. They're not all the same, but they're very similar in style, and end up going really nicely together. So yeah, over here is going to be the nursery. The nursery ends up having more of a yellow color scheme, and this was basically because the swatch on the bassinet was less dirty looking and less torn up, because like I was saying, the wood parts are scratched, and so this one was more subtle and you couldn't really see the scratches as much. They're still there, but it makes it just look like it's more of like an older piece, like maybe like a hand-me-down bassinet, rather than one that's been scratched up by werewolves. And so yeah, I thought it was really cute, and I love the yellow stars and the little lamb that's hanging from it, and the moon. Over here I'm creating a changing table with a shelf above it with a few different decorations, and then the wallpaper that I'm using is very simple, but it does have a border along the top with little penguins, which I thought was pretty sweet. And then I just placed a chair in here, this little wardrobe decoration, and then just a few other items. It's a very simple nursery room, but I feel like it's a very like adaptable room. If you wanted to change it to be a different color scheme, or if the child ages up, you could easily change it and not have to get rid of a lot of different decorations. So yeah, I thought that ended up being pretty nice. Something though that I am still reaching for when decorating kids rooms and toddler rooms and nurseries is just more artwork, especially when it comes to decorating like nurseries and toddler rooms, because we just don't really have that much, and I feel like I'm just using the same things over and over. So I'm really hoping that in the next packs we will get some more decorations for them. Hopefully, we will see. But anyways, over here is going to be the parents' room. The parents' room, I basically just tried to make it feel cohesive to the rest of the house, so nothing too special, but I think it looks nice and it matches the build and it feels cozy. And I like the like splash of orangey wood tones in here. I didn't use as much orange wood up here on the second floor as I did the first floor, but I think that kind of tied it in together nicely. And then here I'm just picking out a roof color. I tried several different ones, but I ended up going with a more reddish tone for the roof, which I thought was like nice and bright and cheerful. And I also put a chimney up on the roof as well. And then like I was saying, here in the back I continue with the landscaping, but there's also a barbecue area, an outdoor dining table. Here on the front I placed a chess table and a garden hose, which I thought was pretty cute. I don't always remember the garden hose decoration, but whenever I do, I'm like so pleased with myself, because it's a really just like nice item to have, because it's like a realistic decoration. Even though it's not like a functional item, I still really enjoy having it. And then here I have just some plant decorations. I was trying to find something to fill in this space over here in the corner, and we got some really nice planter pots with the backyard stuff, and so I placed them over here. And then there's also a large outdoor dining table, the barbecue like I mentioned. I placed a couple of trash cans out here, as well as the bug houses that are painted. The kids in the family aren't really old enough to paint them, but we could pretend the toddler is, but they're still cute, so I really like it. And then there's the swing set. And then I just placed some landscaping, just copying over the same plants that I used at the front of the build, which I really like, and yeah, a few planter pots. So this is, yeah, basically it for the build. I'm just trying to make it feel finished and decorated. Oh yeah, here on the back porch, I do have a seating area with a fire pit coffee table, which I thought was kind of a nice decoration. And then I also placed an art easel out here just as like another activity, and the telescope to the base game one. We got the base game one, and then we also got one with the werewolves pack, so there's two different ones now. And also a rocking chair, which I thought was a nice detail to have back here. And I really like this seating area. I haven't used this patio furniture in a really long time. I think it came from Perfect Patio, but I'm not quite sure about that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the pack it came with. Either way, I used to use it all of the time in more modern style builds, but I just don't really do modern style builds that often. But even though this one isn't super modern, I still feel like it like fits the build and it looks really cute. There I just placed the art easel. And then finally, this is going to be the last room of the build, the office space. So originally I was just planning on placing a computer desk in here, maybe a bookcase, but other than that, I really wasn't sure what else I could place, because I already put the art easel outside, I put the chess table outside, and so I just didn't really think, you know, I wasn't really sure what else I could place in here. Like even the keyboard I already placed in another room of the house. And then I remembered the nifty knitting stuff, and so I placed a lot of the decorations in here, and I'm so happy that I did, because I think for this like particular type of build, the nifty knitting stuff just matches so nicely, because the colors are a lot more cutesy and just more colorful and bright, which is definitely the feel that I was going for this build. And yeah, you'll see me find the items here in just a moment. I think about this time is when I remembered that the pack existed. I found that side table, or that desk rather, and then I just filtered by it, trying to find items that I could place all around the room. And then there's just really good stuff with that pack, and I think it really made this room feel just more lively, and you can really imagine the sim in here creating all of their crafts and stuff. So I really enjoyed that. But yeah, this is basically it for the entire build. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoy the screenshots. So thank you so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!
Hey, do you remember 20-something years ago? Those cold nights in December, and the sound of the falling snow, the fireplace warming us, the VHS movie box, your old broke down touring bus, and not a single cloud in the sky. If I could go back in time, I'd pack my bags right now. If I could play back, rewind, I wouldn't think twice. A pair of jeans and a dusty shirt, we didn't have a dime. No, you and me were poor as dirt, all we had was time. Hey, do you remember sneak it out in the night, me playing the Fender and you singing, oh, it's alright, beating hearts full of lust, shiny stars over us, just a dream guiding us, and not a single cloud in the sky. If I could go back in time, I'd pack my bags right now. If I could play back my life, I wouldn't think twice. A pair of jeans and a dusty shirt, we didn't have a dime. No, you and me were poor as dirt, all we had was time. All we had was time. Every bad thing and every good, I wouldn't change it if I could, 'cause it all led us up to this. Every moment, every kiss. If I could go back in time, I'd pack my bags right now. If I could play back, rewind, I wouldn't think twice. A pair of jeans and a dusty shirt, we didn't have a dime. No, you and me were poor as dirt, and all we had was time. When you and me were poor as dirt,